about? What kinds of things would you be sitting down with that young person, in your case, or older person, and what kind of strategy would you be asking them to use tomorrow if their goal pace was about a 2.5-hour half marathon?
Well, the first thing I would make sure they would do is that they would take a warm-up. How many of you take a warm-up? Oh, you know what? We may have stepped on something here. You will be amazed.
The one guy with gray hair does a warm-up.
But that's because he's a seasoned runner, right? All right. You will be amazed at how much better you feel in your race if you take a little bit of running, a little bit of stretching, and then do a few wind sprints to get your heart rate up to help open up your lungs. So that would be one of the things that I would say to the athlete I'm working with. Take a little bit of a warm-up. It doesn't have to be long. Now, I was a miler. I'd take almost an hour as a warm-up. Not all of that would be running. You know, I'd run a little bit, and then I'd find the necessary room, and then run a little bit more, and then I'd get on the track and do a few strides and stretch a little more. So it wasn't all running, but I made sure that when I got to the starting line, I was warmed up. And I find this to be more and more true, John, and this is true in this group. Not very many half marathon or marathoners take a warm-up. You're better off taking a warm-up because it allows your system to warm up. It's really not going to take that much energy from you, but it'll allow you to be more efficient as the race starts because you're not getting into oxygen debt or breathing a little heavy or whatever. So having said that, make sure they've got their warm-up in, and then I would talk with them about staying on the race strategy. What have we planned? What have we talked about? You know, make sure that reinforce that, especially at the first part of the race, that they're watching their watch and they're making sure that they're on pace. One other important thing at the starting line, because it's usually crowded, elbows out. Keep your balance. Because invariably what happens is you get all scrunched in there and then, you know, occasionally you see somebody fall. So give yourself a little bit of a wide run with your feet. You don't have to knock people down, but protect yourself, make sure you stay upright. And then stay on pace, and then make sure along the way, especially the length of the race, if it's a half marathon, it's not quite as important, but if it's a full marathon, discipline yourself to drink early in the race, because then if you don't, then as a result, you'll start to lose more energy because you haven't hydrated up.
One of the issues
one more thing, John. One more thing, and that is, if you can find someone who's running your pace, run with them. And if you really want to draft off of them, that's a good thing too. In other words, they have to take the extra 10 or 15% while you sit beside them or behind them, let them break the wind for you. Now, as you know, that we've got an extra Ryan in the group. Did she raise her hand over?
I'm not there yet, Ann. Normally, Jim and I work alone.